Go.
Hi, thanks for watching our Fractured Fairy Tales. We've been working really hard on these. Our students have been doing these for about 2 weeks at home, practicing at home and at school. This was the first time they got to use the props and they really enjoyed that. The reason why we do this Fractured Fairy Tale unit is we are just coming off of learning about lesson, messages, and morals. So we talk about what the lesson or the message or moral was in each of the fairy tales. We also do this to practice reading fluency. Reading fluency is how we sound as a reader. So we worked on our voice inflection and tone as well when we practiced our parts. Thanks for coming, or thanks for watching, and I think you're going to enjoy it.
Jack and the Beanstalk trial take 1.
Order in the court.
I have one more on the pieces still.
I don't mean that kind of order. I mean a quiet consideration of the rights of others, that kind of thing. Now, the case before us has been brought by Jared Giant against Jack on the charge of stealing. I call Mr. Giant to the stand. Please tell us what Jack did to you.
He broke my nose, he broke my knee. I've got 2 black eyes I can barely see. My just so I can hardly talk ever since he shut down that big beanstalk.
Why are you rhyming, Mr. Giant? This isn't a nursery rhyme.
When I fell, I also broke my funny bone. Sometimes things just come out in rhyme.
Well, please don't rhyme in my courtroom.
Mr. Giant, Jack's accused of stealing. Are you saying he also did all this to you?
Jack came and stole my gold. Then he came back in again to steal my singing harp and my gold egg-laying hen.
I object. The witness is still rhyming and it's getting worse.
No more rhyming, Mr. Giant. Am I clear?
Yes, Judge, I can hear. The fall didn't hurt my ears.
Stop picking on my poor husband. What are you going to do about Jack? Throw the book at him, Judge.
I object.
What are you objecting now?
It's dangerous to throw things.
That's just an expression. I mean, we should put Jack in jail and throw away the key.
I object. Now the prosecutor's throwing things too.
Go on, Mr. Giant. Just don't throw a fit.
That's how it happened. One day, out of the blue, a huge beanstalk grew all the way up to our castle in the clouds. And this ragamuffin Jack climbed up it. He looked lost and hungry, so I invited him in. Gave him a snack and even had a harp sing for him. Then, as soon as my husband Jill came home, Jack ran off with our stuff.
I chased him out of the room and out through the yard. I chased him down the beanstalk we were running really hard. But he got down first and chopped the beanstalk flat. So down and down I fell and landed with a splat.
Splat? Are you allowed to say splat in court?
I don't like slang in my courtroom either. But we're here to find out the truth. Now, what did you have to say about this, Jack? It's a very dangerous thing to make someone go splat.
It's not true, Judge. He may have gone crash, he may have gone bang, he may have even gone kaboom, but I definitely did not hear him go splat.
That's ridiculous. I heard splat all the way up in my castle.
It was a splat and that's that.
Rhyming alert, rhyming alert.
Order! Order in the court, I say.
Is it time to order pizza now?
Enough about pizza and enough about splat. Prosecutor, call your witnesses.
Yes, Judge. I called the clerk from Axie. Now, Mr. Clerk, you didn't say if I told the truth.
The whole and nothing but the truth.
Sorry about that.
Well, do you?
Of course, what a silly question. Now, you know Jack. Yes, he came to Axe Depot and stole he came into Axe Depot and he came to Axe Depot a couple of weeks ago with the biggest bag of gold I've ever seen. That was our retirement money. What did Jack want? The most fanciest, most expensive, the Axe, and the whole Axe 3000.
the beanstalk chopper. The most expensive, most fanciest axe in the world. The beanstalk chopper 3000. It took the whole bag of gold too.
Do you still have the gold?
No. I spent it on the gingerbread siding for my house. They say it's good for keeping out big bad wolves, but it seems to attack kids named Hansel and Gretel.
Thank you, Claire. For my next witness, the conversation of real living has that remembered. Now, you know the defendant, Jack?
Yes. No, but I know his mother. She called the noble and bid on the most expensive gown. She claimed that she had a golden hen that laid golden eggs.
They're throwing things again. Go on.
She didn't have any money. Well, she didn't have any money, but she claimed she had a hen that laid golden eggs.
Did you take her hand for the gown?
I may be a fairy tale character, but I wasn't living yesterday. Who wouldn't take a hen for who wouldn't take it? And that lays golden eggs for a dress.
When is it my turn to cross-examine the witness?
Okay, go ahead.
Thanks. Did Jack's mother say where the hen came from?
Not exactly, but we all know the story, right?
Don't assume you know the truth just because somebody else told you. That's why we're out in the straw. Maybe Jack's mother raised the hen herself. Jack can grow beanstalks that teach him wives. Why not hens that lay golden eggs?
She told me her son stole it from a giant.
I said he got it from some giant. That's not the same thing.
Sort of got it. It's still my hen, and he better give it back again.
He's running again, Judge.
Order in the court, and not one word about pizza. Defense attorney, call your witnesses.
It's about time. I called Jack. Do you promise to tell the truth?
The whole truth?
Of course, the whole truth.
Could it be mostly the truth?
No, it has to be the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
You're making this really hard, you know?
Just tell us what happened.
It all started when I took Milky White to the market.
Who's Milky White?
He's my cow, or at least he was my cow. My mom sent me into town to sell him.
Her. I told you to sell her. Milk comes from girl cows. Look, Judge, we called her Milky White because she was milky on the outside, but she hadn't been milky on the inside for a long time. We were broke. We had to sell her.
I was on my way to the market when this mysterious man came out of the shadows.
A mysterious man. I hope you don't expect us to believe that.
He had a hat on and didn't say a word to me.
That's That sounds a little bit. That sounds pretty mysterious to me.
He had a hat on and didn't say a word to me. Anyway, he took Milky White and gave me 5 beans for him.
Her, Milky White, say her. Anyhow, did I tell you to sell the cow for beans? Who sells a cow for beans?
But Mom, I told you they were magic beans. Did you listen? No, we threw them away, and the next morning, just like magic, a huge beanstalk was grown in our yard.
From your yard right to my castle, and boy did it make a mess in my flower room. What did you do next, Jack?
I climbed up the beanstalk, and at the top was this gigantic house in the clouds.
What did you do?
I snuck inside after that long time. I was hungry. I told Mrs. Giant that I was a poor starving lad who had gotten lost and climbed up the beanstalk. She fixed me a big plate of food. I mean a big plate of food. Then all of a sudden, Mr. Giant will P5 so thumb on me.
What do you mean he went P5 thumb on you?
He started yelling P5 so thumb. I smelled the blood in Englishman. I'm not English. I don't even know what an Englishman smells like, but I wasn't taking any chances.
Gerald is always P5 so Judge. He doesn't mean anything by it.
What did you do? Sorry for interrupting, Judge, but this is kind of getting interesting.
I ran as fast as I could. I jumped onto the beanstalk and climbed down. I'm quite nimble and quick. You should see me jump over a candlestick.
But in all this running, I see you still had time to stop to steal the bag of gold.
Oh, I did. Here I was in this huge house with beautiful things everywhere. And we're so poor I just sold our only cow for 5 beans. For Pete's sake. I thought he was going to miss one little bag of gold.
He just grabbed the gold and ran.
He's guilty, Judge. He just admitted.
He didn't mean it, Judge. He didn't know what he was doing.
He's guilty.
He's guilty. Silence! Now, listen, Jack, did you steal the gold from Mr. and Mrs. Giant? Yes or no?
Yes, I did.
And did you chop down the beanstalk? With my husband on it?
Yes, I admit I was wrong. I'll take the blame. But I don't think it's all my fault. I didn't ask for the magic beans. I didn't ask for the beanstalk to grow into the giant's yard. How about the guy with the beans? Isn't he responsible for what happened to? Who was the guy with the beans anyway?
The name is Bean Guy.
Bean Guy? Yes, Bean Guy. I'm traveling from Fairytale giving people magic beans.
I never heard of you before.
That's because this is my first Fairytale. After this one, they got me scheduled for a Fairytale tour. I did a Princess and the Pea next.
I'll get it. Why give me magic beans?
He teaches you a lesson, of course. Fairytales are about teaching people lessons. For starters, Jack, you're being irresponsible.
Irresponsible? How?
Your mother told you to go into town and sell your cow, but you sold it to me, the first person you met on the road. You're lucky you got beans for her. And didn't anybody warn you about talking to strangers?
Oh, you're right. I could have gotten into even worse trouble. How could I ever think of it?
Now that you mentioned it, I could use some help in my bean laboratory. I'm working on a magic bean that puts beautiful girls to sleep for 100 years.
What about our harp, our hand, and our gold? That's our savings going rolled.
Mr. Giant is right, even if his rhymes aren't right. You're going to have to work your debt off to Mr. and Mrs. Giant first. You can clean their giant house and wash their giant floors and sing like the harp for their supper.
And all their squeaky doors. You guys, this is your idea all along.
You know how Cinderella had her fairy godmother? Well, Jack, you have Bean Guy.
Put Cinderella into the prince's ball.
And you get to go to the giant castle. Maybe you'll think about your consequences of your actions before taking something that doesn't belong to you. Mr. Giant, are you satisfied with this decision?
Obviously, Mr. Bean Guy. Hey, I didn't run that time. I'm cured.
That concludes our case. I just have one thing to say. Order! Order in the court!
A large pepperoni pizza to go!
The Cheetah and Sloth is based on The Tortoise and the Hare. The original is among the best known as Aesop's fables. Aesop was a Greek storyteller who lived during the 6th century BC. His fables tend to have animals as characters. Each fable also has a moral. Each one teaches a lesson about proper verses and proper behavior. For example, the moral of The Tortoise and the Hare is that slow and steady can win in the end.
Other notable Aesop fables include the grasshopper and the ant, and the fox and the grape. Welcome, birds and badgers. They're animals of the forest. We are gathered here today for the racing event. Sloth has challenged Cheetah to a race. And down at the starting line for exclusive interview with both racers. The first question is for Sloth. Sloth, the slowest animal in the forest. Why in the world are you racing against Cheetah?
He's always making fun of me. He always calls me slow, silly sloth. I'm tired of it. So I thought I'd challenge him to a race. May the best animal win.
Interesting. Well, good luck. Now let me ask some questions of Cheetah. Cheetah, how do you feel about this race?
I am positive, undeniably, unquestionably the fastest animal in the world. Sloth is so slow he makes the snail look like a lightning bolt. I can run 7 miles in an hour. It takes him 7 hours to move 1 mile. You do the math.
Okay, Cheetah, you sound very confident. The crowd is excited. The race is about to begin. Cheetah and Sloth are taking their places at the start line. Cheetah is long, lean, with yellow spotted fur. Cheetah is wearing a pair of brand new running shoes. Sloth is large, with brown fur and very small legs. Sloth is wearing a pair of brand new shiny black shoes. They look very uncomfortable. The judge is taking his place at the starting line.
On your mark, get set, go.
And they're off! Taking along at tremendous speed. Meanwhile, Sloth is moving up the starting line fairly slowly. In fact, I'm not even sure whether Sloth has actually started the race. Wait a minute. Sloth appears to move forward just slightly. They're back to Cheetah. Cheetah is running at incredible speed. Will you just look at that? Cheetah is already at the halfway point of the race and showing no sign of slowing down.
Yay, Cheetah! Go for it! Run, Cheetah, run! Come on, Sloth! You can do it! Move, Sloth, move!
Wait a moment. Something extraordinary has just happened. Cheetah stopped running. What's going on? This is amazing. I'll describe the action. Cheetah is walking off the racetrack. Now Cheetah is walking into the woods. Wait, now what? Cheetah is lying down. Cheetah is lying down beneath a tree. Brendan Badger, this is incredible. In all my years as a sportscaster, I've never seen anything like it. Cheetah appears to be lying down taking a nap.
Come on, Cheetah! Get up! Cheetah, get up! Sloth's going to... Fast, you can do it and catch the cheetah!
I'm in force now. I'm an exclusive interview with Cheetah. Cheetah, there's a question that must be on every animal's mind right now. Why have you stopped running?
That's simple. I'm so fast and Sloth is so, I thought I would take a little nap. In fact, I'll take a long nap. I might even hibernate. When I wake up, I'll still be Sloth. Sloth is slow, he makes a glasses look like a rocket ship. Well, 99.
Well, there you have. Cheetah is so confident that he will win this race that he's taking a nap. I think we'll now pause for a very, very long commercial break.
Buy Big Bill, best Boston baked beans. Buy Big Bills, best Boston baked beans. Buy Big Bill, best Boston baked beans.
We're back. Laughing away between Cheetah and Sloth. Brendan Badger is saying an amazing race. Cheetah is in the middle of a very long nap. Meanwhile, Sloth is in along and drawn close to the finish line. Incredible!
Go, Sloth, go! You can win this race! Wake up, Cheetah, wake up! Sloth is going to beat you!
I'm down near the finish line. I'm an exclusive interview with Sloth, now leading this race. Sloth, do you think you have a chance to win? Do you think you can beat Cheetah?
I'm just going to take it one step at a time. If I get to the finish line before Cheetah wakes up, well, I guess that means I'm the winner.
Incredible! Here comes Sloth in the lead. This is quite upset taking shape. No one ever could predict this outcome. Wait a minute. Here comes the car, traveling at tremendous speed. It appears that Cheetah is driving the car. The car is heading towards the finish line. Here comes Sloth. Here comes Cheetah. It's going to be close. And the winner is Cheetah. Cheetah's crossed off the finish line 1 second before Sloth. What a race! Cheetah is the winner.
Yay, Cheetah! We knew you could do it! That's not fair!
Quiet, quiet, please. I have a official announcement to make. Cheetah crossed the finish line using a card, so he's disqualified. The winner of the race is Sloth.
This is just incredible, Birds and Badgers. I've never seen anything like it. What drama, what excitement. In all my years as a sportscaster, I've never seen a race with so many surprises. Can you believe it? Sloth is the winner. Cheetah is loser. I'll be back with the post-race announcements after this commercial.
Buy big bills, that's supposed to make beans. Buy big bills, that's supposed to make beans. Buy big bills, that's supposed to make beans.
We're back, and I'm talking with Sloth, the surprise winner of the race. I think there's a question on the mind of every animal right now. Sloth, how did you do it? How did you beat Cheetah?
I never gave up, even though Cheetah started out way ahead. I just kept moving until I crossed the finish line. Slow and steady wins the way.
Amazing. So there you have it, Birds and Badgers. Always remember, slow and steady wins the race.
Goldilocks and the three bullfrogs. Take 3,000.
Goldilocks and the Three Bullfrogs is based on a classic Goldilocks and the Three Bears. In the original, Goldilocks wanders into a house belonging to three bears because their porridge sits in their chairs and sleeps in their beds. When the bears find her, she wakes with a fright and runs away. Both of the original fractured versions are meant to be fun, but also are meant to teach a couple of important lessons. First, people shouldn't enter with nature. Second, people should not sneak into the homes of strangers. Once upon a time, there was a family of bullfrogs. They lived in a small house at the edge of the pond. In the backyard, they had their very own swimming pool. It had 3 lily pads. One was for Papa Bullfrog, one was for Mama Bullfrog, and one was for Baby Bullfrog. The family was just getting ready to sit down for a meal of soup. But the time they returned, they expected the soup would have been cooled down. Meanwhile, a little girl named Goldilocks was walking in the woods, and she noticed a little house at the edge of the pond. She went inside.
Gee, 3 bowls of soup. I wonder who these belong to.
Goldilocks took a spoonful from Papa Bullfrog's bowl, but before she took a sip, she noticed that something was strange.
There are flies in this soup. Yuck.
Then she took a spoonful of Mama Bullfrog's soup, but before she put it in her mouth, she noticed that something was odd.
This soup is full of crickets. Ugh.
Then Goldilocks noticed that Baby Bullfrog's soup didn't have any flies or crickets.
This soup is just right.
Goldilocks ate all of Baby Bullfrog's soup. Then she took a look out of the window and noticed that the frog's swimming pool. She thought it would be nice to take a swim. Goldilocks swam for a while and she noticed that there were 3 lily pads in the pool. This was strange, she wondered. Who lived in this house? It looked like it would be fun to sit on one of the lily pads. Goldilocks climbed up on Papa Bullfrog's lily pad.
This lily pad is too big.
Goldilocks dove back into the water and swam to Mama Bullfrog's lily pad.
This lily pad is too slippery.
She swam over to the 3rd and final lily pad, which belonged to Baby Bullfrog.
This lily pad is just right.
Suddenly, there was a strange gurgling noise. The lily pad was sinking. Goldilocks fell into the water with a splash. Then she swam to the edge of the pool and got out. Goldilocks decided to go back inside of the house for a look around. She walked upstairs. The first thing she noticed was a very bouncy looking bed. Who lived in this house with flies, soup,
lily pads in the pool, and bouncy beds. Goldilocks climbed on top of Bullfrog's bed and began to bounce. She immediately flew into the air and nearly bumped her head on the ceiling. This bed is too bouncy. Next, she tried out Mama Bullfrog's bed. She hopped once and nothing happened. She hopped again and still nothing happened. This bed is not bouncy enough. So Goldilocks began to jump on Baby Bullfrog's bed. It was perfect. She could go higher and higher and lower. She flips and flops and trips. Whee, woo, wee, woo, ah. After a while, Goldilocks grew tired of bouncing on Baby Bullfrog's bed. She laid down and went to sleep. Then the Bullfrog family came hopping back from their outing. They were hungry and looking forward to some tasty fly soup of flies, crickets, and suddenly Papa Bullfrog noticed that something was not quite right.
Ribbit, someone's been sampling my soup.
Someone also got a spoonful of my soup.
Ribbit,
Someone ate my soup. Now it's all gone.
Then the three bullfrogs noticed that something was different about their swimming pool.
Ribbit, someone been on my lily pad. Ribbit.
Ribbit, someone has not been sitting on my lily pad. Ribbit. Someone sat on my lily pad and it sank. Ribbit.
The three hopped upstairs.
Someone been bouncing ribbit on my bed.
Yes, he's bouncing then. Ribbit. Someone bouncing on my bed.
Someone has been bouncing on my bed and he's still there.
Ribbit.
With all the commotion, Goldilocks woke up. She was greeted by the family of frogs staring at her. They were hopping mad. Goldilocks got out of the bed and jumped out of the window just like a frog. Then she ran out of the woods and never snuck into a strange house again. The
Sleeping Beauty, take 1.
Sleeping Beauty is a traditional folk tale that has been retold countless times over the years. Whatever the version, the story always features a princess who's the victim of a curse. If she pricks her finger on a spindle, a type of pin used with a spinning wheel, she will fall asleep for 100 years. The king and queen order that all the spindles will be removed from the kingdom, but she still manages to find one. Sure enough, she pricks her finger and falls asleep for 100 years. Finally, a handsome prince awakens her from the spell. This version follows a similar but fractured story. The princess must never eat soup. If she does, she'll never get a date. An effort is made to remove all bowls and soup spoons from the kingdom, but to no avail. Once upon a time, there lived a king in a faraway land. He had one daughter, a lovely young princess. He decided to throw her a feast for her 10th birthday. It was a wonderful feast, and he invited all the good fairies from the surrounding woodlands. Each good fairy cast a different spell on the young princess. One spell made her sweet, another spell made her smart, another spell made her pretty. But there was one particular fairy, a wicked fairy, who had not been invited to the feast. The wicked fairy grew angry and cast a curse on the princess.
Hocus pocus, alakazam, and zoop. Your manners will be fearful. You slip up your soup.
The king was horrified. He immediately issued a proclamation to try to keep the curse against his daughter from coming true.
All spoons throughout the kingdom must be destroyed at once. Citizens of the land, gather up any and all bowls. Take them to the royal dump immediately. From this point forward, soup is outlawed in my kingdom. No more clam chowder, no more chicken and stars. Hear me, by royal proclamation. There will be no more soup.
A few years later, the princess had her 16th birthday. The king arranged a huge feast. Prince Charming, from a neighboring land, was to be the guest of honor. He was famous the whole world over for his fine breeding. The king had even hired a new cook specifically for the occasion.
I would like to say a few words to the lovely princess. If her manners are anything like my manners, I'm sure we will get along quite splendidly.
The waiters began to serve the meal. To the king's horror, they set down bowls of soup. The king had completely forgotten to tell the new cook that soup was forbidden throughout the land.
I've never tasted it. I do that before. What is this fine food? Why, it's soup, of course.
Oh no, it's soup.
It's delicious. I've never tasted anything so delicious. Well, I never. I believe that I must be going at once. I have a previous engagement that completely slipped my mind. King, thank you for a most charming evening. Your daughter is a most interesting young lady.
The king was furious that the feast had gone so badly. The wicked fairy's curse had taken hold. Slurping Beauty had scared off Prince Charming with her terrible manners. Sure, Prince Charming was something small, but what about the next young man who came to dinner? What if Slurping Beauty scared him off too? The king decided he would fire the new cook at once. But Slurping Beauty begged him not to. Until now, she had never tasted soup, and she loved it.
Please, Daddy, you don't fire the cook. Have him make some more soup. I love it.
The king could not deny his daughter, and so began a period of Slurping Beauty trying all the soups she missed out on throughout her childhood. Night after night, meal after meal, she tried different soups: split pea, chicken noodle, beef and barley. She loved them all, and she slurped them all up. The old king was terribly upset. If his daughter kept behaving this way, she might never find a husband. It so happened that another prince was passing through the land. The king had no choice but to invite Prince Alarming to dinner.
I would like to tell the lovely princess of the what did the frog say to the bee? Badok, get it, Badok.
The princess began to laugh. Then Prince Alarming began to laugh. He had a goofy, high-pitched laugh that sounded like this.
Eeyore! Eeyore! Eeyore!
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Let
Let us know.
us alone. Get it? Let us alone.
Slurping Beauty laughed so hard that soup came out of her nose. That made Prince Alarming laugh even harder.
Eeyore! Eeyore! Eeyore!
Slurping Beauty didn't mind Prince Alarming's goofy laugh. In fact, she thought it was cute. Prince Alarming didn't mind the way Slurping Beauty ate her soup. She has a healthy appetite, he would say, always with a hearty laugh.
Eeyore! Eeyore! Eeyore!
The two rather enjoyed one another's funny habits. They fell in love and lived happily ever after.
was a very old folk tale that for many years was simply told by one person to another. Then in the early 1800s, it was written down for the first time by the brothers Grimm of Germany. In their version, Rapunzel had very neat long hair. The prince didn't encounter any bumblebees or pound dogs, but there were other challenges for the prince. The wicked witch knew he was coming, so she cut off Rapunzel's hair and sent her away. And the witch tied Rapunzel's hair to the top of the tower and waited for the prince to arrive. The prince had to battle the witch to find his true love, Rapunzel. There once was a woman named Rapunzel. She was the nicest person in all the land. A wicked witch locked her away in a room at the top of a tall tower. Year after year, Rapunzel grew her blonde hair until it was as long as the tower was high. The brave prince had heard that Rapunzel was trapped in the tower. One day, the prince rode his horse to the top of the tower. And called up to Rapunzel.
Rapunzel, Rapunzel, throw down your hair so I may climb your golden stairs.
Rapunzel threw down her hair, and the prince began to climb. And very soon he got tangled in a long pink ribbon.
Oh, drat.
The prince continued to climb up Rapunzel's long blonde hair, but now the prince was twisted in pink ribbon. Still, the prince had heard that Rapunzel was very nice. He climbed a little higher and met a mother bird. The mother bird was tending 3 tiny chicks.
Ouch! Ouch! Ouch!
The prince escaped from the angry mother bird, who continued to climb up Rapunzel's long blonde hair. But now the prince had been pecked by a bird and was twisted in pink ribbon. Still, the prince had heard that Rapunzel was very nice and very clever. He climbed a little higher and ran into another climber hanging onto Rapunzel's hair for dear life.
Hello there.
Who are you?
I'm a fellow climber. It is a long way to the top. I'm afraid I am growing weary. I've stopped for a snack. Say, can I offer you a cup of tea?
Yes, that would be nice.
Jolly good. Here you are, then.
Oops! It's hard to drink and hang on to Rapunzel's hair at the same time.
Indeed it is, old chap. Indeed it is. Well, best of luck to you.
The prince bid farewell to the other climber, continued to scale Rapunzel's long blonde hair. But now the prince was soaked in tea, pecked by a bird, and twisted in pink ribbon. Still, the prince had heard that Rapunzel was very nice and very clever and very pretty. He climbed a little higher and met an old hound dog.
Good doggy. No. Good doggy.
Up. The prince got away from the old hound dog and continued to climb up Rapunzel's long blonde hair. But now the prince was coated in dog silver, soaked in tea, pecked by a bird, and twisted in pink ribbon. Still, the prince had heard that Rapunzel was very nice and very clever and very pretty and very funny. He climbed a little higher and ran into a bumblebee, attracted by the scent of Rapunzel's luxuriant hair.
Sting, sting, sting.
Yeah!
The prince hurried away from the bumblebee, who continued to climb up Rapunzel's long blonde hair. But now the prince had one eye sworn shut from a bee sting, was coated in dog silver, soaked in tea, and pecked by a bird, and twisted in pink ribbon. Still, the prince had heard that Rapunzel was very nice and very clever and very pretty and very funny and very good at ping pong. At last, he got to the top of the tower.
Rapunzel, I'm here to rescue you and take you away.
The prince ran to Rapunzel and bent down one knee.
Oh, dear Rapunzel, will you be my... Oh, dearest Rapunzel, will you be my wife?
Yes.
I am a prince, and we shall live in my castle and be happy together.
We can't see a mess. You're twisted in pink ribbon. You have bird peck marks on your cheeks.
You have dog slobber dripping from your face and your ice cream syrup from a bumblebee sting.
Well, nobody's perfect. Look at you, Rapunzel. You need a haircut. Your hair is all full of ribbons and bird nests and climbers, and old hound dogs and bumblebees.
Well, I'll never.
I'm out of hair. I'm out of here.
The prince turned to leave, but suddenly he was struck by an idea.
Hey, you do not be perfect. Untwisted ribbon, pecked by birds, soaked in tea, covered in dog slobber, and my eyes full of trap from a bee sting. And your hair is full of ribbons and bird nests, and climbers and hound dogs and bumblebees. Don't you see, Rapunzel? We're perfect for each other. I love you. Please say you'll marry me.
Yes. Yes. I would, my prince, but how are we both going to escape from this town?
The prince realized it was true. He could climb back down Rapunzel's hair, but how could they both escape together? To comfort Rapunzel, the prince began to stroke her long blonde hair. It was then he found yet another thing tangled in her hair. It was a key.
What's this?
The key, I've been looking for that for 7 years. We're free.
The prince and Rapunzel unlocked the door and walked down the stairs of the tower. And so our story ends. The ribbon-tied, bird-pecked, tea-soaked, dog-slobbered, bee-stung prince and the very nice, very clever, very pretty, very funny, and very good at ping-pong Rapunzel, with long blonde hair full of ribbons, bird nests, and climbers, and old hound dogs, and bumblebees got married and lived happily ever after.
The three little elephants take 50.
The Three Little Pigs is a traditional folk tale. The tale was passed along for many years by an old person before anyone bothered to write it down. Even so, there is no narrative telling created to an author such as Hans Christian Andersen. Instead, a huge variety of versions are to be found in the various collections of children's stories. But most variants agree on the major points. The Three Little Pigs are terraced by a big bad wolf. The wolf blows down a straw house and a house of sticks before the pigs are able to find safety in a brick house. By contrast, this fractured version presents three elephants terraced by one very small mouse. They move to a larger and larger houses until they are forced to confront the object of their terror. The Three Little Elephants. Once upon a time, there were three little elephants who lived with their parents. When the elephants grew old enough, they went out into the world to live on their own. The first little elephant built a small wooden shack. One day, there was a knock at the door.
Who's there?
It's the big farmhouse! Open up! Look!
Is anybody out there?
Let me in! Let me in! Let me in!
That's strange. Someone knocked on my door.
But whoever it was,
They think you're on our way.
The big bad mouse was frustrated, so he wanted to open and slipped it under the door. It read, Later that day, the elephant found a note. Big bad mouse. Oh no, I've never seen a mouse. But it sounds very scary. I imagine that it must be giant. Much larger than an elephant. I bet it has big yellow eyes and long, sharp teeth. Oh no! Help! There's a big bad mouse in the woods. I must run away before it comes back to my house. I must run for my life! The elephant ran through the wooden shack, tripping over tables and bumping into chairs. The terrified elephant leapt through the back door and went all the way to the second elephant's house. The second elephant lived in a brick house. It was larger than the first elephant's wooden shack. It also had a doorbell, which the fourth elephant rang. Ding dong, ding dong.
Hello, who's there?
It's me! I'm so scared! There's a mouse in the woods! Can I stay at your house? Please! Please!
A mouse? I've never seen a mouse before. That sounds very scary. I can imagine that. The mouse must be gigantic with a long tail and sharp claws. Come inside quickly and lock the door behind you.
The humans left. The two elephants sat in frightened silence. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. The two elephants looked at each other and their tails whirled. Who could it be?
I'm not answering it.
Don't look at me. I'm not answering you either.
The big bad mouse kept ringing the doorbell, but no one answered. Finally, he grew frustrated and flipped a note under the door. It read, "Wait, I'm a big bad mouse. I will rip up the garden now, tear down your house. I will tug on your tail, I will fly in your ears, and I'm mighty and mean on the width of your fears."
Oh no, this is terrifying. Now the big mouse come to my house.
Oh no! What will we do? Where will we go?
There's gigantic frightening creatures in the woods. Run, we must run for our lives.
The two terrified elephants stumbled out of the house, tangling up their legs and tripping over one another. They rushed through the back door of the house. They didn't stop running until they arrived at the third elephant's house. The elephant lived in an enormous mansion. It had a long driveway and a swimming pool. The two elephants rang the doorbell and James the butler answered. As soon as he opened the door, they ran faster, shouting and waving their arms wide. Oh my! Oh no! It's horrifying! It's horrible! It's terrifying!
Help us! There's something! Call for help! Call the police. Call the army.
You don't know this sounds. Both of you. Now slow down and tell me what to so frightened of.
A mouse!
In a mouse? Why don't you say so? I've never seen a mouse. But I imagine a mouse would be humongous larger than this mansion. I think it might have nails and it might be fun.
The three elephants hurried in fear. They remained very still, listening with extreme fear. After a few minutes, the doorbell rang.
Don't answer it, James.
Why not, Mr. Elephant?
It's a mouse, James. A humongous, terrifying, scary, cloud-bathing mouse.
Don't be ridiculous. Mice are tiny furry creatures that scurry about and eat seeds and berries.
James went and opened the door. The three elephants were so frightened now that their eyes were popping out and their ears stood straight from their heads.
Wow, what do we have here? Wow, what do we have here? A little tiny mouse.
Look, you please don't hear the message. You know, and he tells them, squeak, 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 I'm the big bad mouse. I will rip up the garden, I will tear down the house. I will tug on the tail, I will fly on your ears. I'm mighty and mean on the width of your fears.
Elephant, come here. You must face your foes. I must sing. That's scary.
The three elephants walked very nervously toward the door. The visit of the sword elephant. The three frightened elephants stared at the doorway, but no one appeared to be there, besides staring to the butler. They looked to the left. They looked to the right. They looked up. They looked down. There, on the doorstep, stood a little tiny mouse.
But you're so small!
You've never seen a mouse before?
You're not very frightened.
You're so huge! I did not know this about you, but you're very, very frightening. Eat! Elvis!
And with that, the mouse scampered into the woods. At last, the elephants had seen that a mouse was very small. They were never frightened of mice again. At last, the mouse had known that elephants were very low. The mouse never again threatened to let the elephants go on and tear down the elephant's house. Everyone was happily ever.
Popsicle Boy, take 1,000. The gingerbread man is another traditional fairy, like the Three Little Pigs. In the original, the gingerbread man jumps out of the pan and runs away. He runs past a cow and a farmer. Each chases after him, hoping to catch him in. But he escapes, saying, "You won't catch me? I'm the gingerbread man." But then the gingerbread man meets up with a fox who offers to help him cross the river. The fox tricks the gingerbread man and eats him instead. In this version, Popsicle Boy outruns everyone in the playground. The baby, the jump rope, the girl jumping rope, the boy on the bike, and the dog. But Popsicle Boy also gets tricked. He lies down on the beach and gets melted by the sun. The Popsicle Boy. It was the middle of a very hot summer. Each day, Mr. Cone parked his ice cream truck near a busy playground. Kids were everywhere. They loved to buy ice cream and other treats from Mr. Cone's truck. One day, a woman asked for a large popsicle for her little baby. Mr. Cone reached into the freezer to pull one out. To everyone's surprise, just as Mr. Cone was handing the popsicle to the lady, it started to move. It was Popsicle Boy! Popsicle Boy wriggled free, jumped down from the truck, and started to run away.
When my popsicle, when. You can 1 through 1 to 103. I'm the Popsicle Boy and you'll never catch me.
The Popsicle Boy began to run through the playground. A girl who was jumping rope saw him and licked her lips hungrily.
It's my lucky day. I'm tired from jumping rope, but here comes an orange popsicle running right towards me.
Popsicle Boy was running very fast now, and he ran right past the jump rope girl.
Wait, stop. It's so hot and you look so cool and tasty. You can jump double dutch to 103. I'm the Popsicle Boy and you'll never catch me.
There was a boy riding his bike around the playground. He was hot and tired, too. When he saw Popsicle Boy, he was sure to go catch him on his bike.
That has to be the fastest moving popsicle I've ever seen, but it's also my favorite flavor, orange. There's no way he can outrun my bike.
By now, Popsicle Boy was streaking through the playground at tremendous speed. The boy on the bike could not keep up.
Wait, hold on, no fair, it's so hot and you look delicious.
You can total run to 103. I'm the Popsicle Boy and you'll never catch me.
Popsicle Boy had run almost to the end of the playground. Suddenly, he was spotted by a dog. The dog began to chase after Popsicle Boy.
The dog got closest to Popsicle Boy of anyone. In fact, the dog got close enough to take one big slurp. But then even the dog could not keep up. It stopped running and started to pant underneath the hot sun.
Slobber and howl till you're 103. I'm the Popsicle Boy and you'll never catch me.
Popsicle Boy had outrun everyone in the playground. The little baby, the jump rope girl, the boy on the bike, and the dog. He was free at last. He walked through the city for a while. Then he got on a bus. He rode out to the beach where he lay down in the sand.
I will lie on this beach till I'm 103. I'm the Popsicle Boy and no one will ever catch me.
Popsicle Boy lay on the beach. The sun beat down on him. For a while, he enjoyed it. He thought perhaps he'd get a good tan. But then he began to notice that something very strange was happening to him.
Please, oh please, somebody help me. I'm the Popsicle Boy and I'm melting. Quickly, oh me, oh my, won't someone save me? I'm the Popsicle Boy, I'll be wasted, you see.
All afternoon, the sun kept shining bright. All afternoon, Popsicle Boy melted away. By the end of the day, all that was left of him was his stick. It was stuck in the middle of a bright orange.
Little Red Robin, take one.
The original tale is The Little Red Hen. The little red hen tries to pursue her lazy friends, dog, cat, and duck, to help make some bread. She can't convince them to help with the planting or gathering of wheat or with the baking. But then it comes time to eat the bread. They are ready to help. Because she had to do all the work by herself, the little red hen decides she will also eat the bread by herself. In this fractured version, the little red robin tries to convince dog, cat, and duck to help her prepare a banana split. In contrast to the original tale, she shares her dessert with the other animals, but also teaches them a valuable lesson. Once there was a little red robin. Her favorite food in the whole wide world was a banana split, with hot fudge and nuts and whipped cream and a bright red cherry on top. She decided to make a banana split, and she tried to convince her lazy friends, dog, cat, and duck, to help her.
I'm in the mood for a delicious banana split. Who will go to the store with me to buy bananas and ice cream and hot fudge and nuts and whipped cream and cherries?
Are you kidding? Not me. I need to spend the day washing my hair.
Thanks for going to the store first by followers. And could you pick up me a copy of Textile Magazine?
Well, I guess I'll have to go to the store by myself.
So the little red robin hopped over to the Bargain Barn grocery store. When she returned home, she realized that she had forgotten to buy an important ingredient: cherries.
Oh dear, I forgot the cherries. Will someone go back to the store me just to keep me company?
Wait, bonkers, can't you sit and teach you on tail?
Are you kidding? Can't you see that I'm busy playing with this piece of yarn? Since you're going back to the store, here's $10. Could you pick up me some eye drops, a bar of soap, a pack of playing cards, some garbage bag tissues?
The Little Red Robin returned to the Bargain Barn grocery store. She bought cherries and also eye drops, soap, and the other items that the lazy duck had asked for. Then she returned home and prepared to make a banana split. Once again, she asked her friends if they would help.
Who will help me make a banana split? I will help you if you whip up a batch of dog biscuits. I'll help if you whip up a cat food. Do you think you could pick up my ugly banana plant?
So the Little Red Robin proceeded to make the banana split all by herself. She cut up bananas, she scooped out lots of ice cream, then she poured on the hot fudge and sprinkled the nuts. Carefully following the instructions in her dessert treats for the Bird's Cookbook, the Little Red Robin added a heaping helping of whipped cream, and to top it all off, she added a bright red cherry. The banana split was ready.
Now I'm finished making my favorite dessert in the whole wide world, a banana split. Hey, that looks delicious. Can I have a bite? That looks really good. Can I have a spoon? That looks great. Hey, Ray Robin, can you go up to my room and find my favorite bowl? You know, the blue with the stars on it? I think I'd like to have a nice big helping of that banana split. Now I'm willing to share my banana split with all of you, but you made me do all the work by myself, which isn't fair. Next time, I want each of you to help out.
So the Little Red Robin shared the banana split with the other three animals. Other three animals enjoyed it very much. The next day, Lazy Dog, Lazy Cat, and Lazy Duck surprised the Little Red Robin by making her a delicious chocolate cake. The dog, cat, and duck weren't lazy anymore, and the four friends lived happily ever after. The end.
I didn't know what to do.
Bravo. Brementown, take one.
The original story was The Brementown Musicians, told by the brothers Grimm. It also features a donkey, dog, cat, and rooster. They are tired of life on the farm and feel underappreciated by their owners. The four set off to Brementown to try to make their fortunes as musicians. Along the road, they encountered a band of robbers. They scared them off with their singing. The fractured version differs by having the animals become rappers. Another twist, they became famous recording artists, whereas the original Brementown musicians merely lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, there was a donkey who lived on a farm. He was getting old, so the farmer told him it was time to retire. The donkey had always dreamed of being a rapper, so he decided to run away to Brementown to try to make it in the music business. He walked along the road for a while and came upon an old hound dog.
How are you doing?
Not so well, not so well. I'm kind of living out here in the middle of nowhere.
You should come with me. I'm on my way to Birmingham. I'm going to become a rapper.
I would love to come along.
Hey, I have an idea. If we're going to become rappers, we should start talking real cool and we need new rapper names.
I'll be Donkey MC.
Right here, you're my donkey. From now on, you can call me Fun Loving Dog.
The donkey and the dog continued to walk down the road. Only now they were Donkey MC and Fun Loving Dog. And they had cool new walks now too. The donkey used to walk in a slow, tired way. Now Donkey MC galloped like a prize stallion. The old hound dog used to drag his belly on the ground, but Fun Loving Dog walked in a sly way like a fox. Soon the two friends met up with a mangy old cat with messy fur and droopy whiskers.
How's it going, my fine feline friend?
Yo, cat, can I get a meow? What's with you two? You're acting weird.
We're going to Birmingham. We're going to become rappers.
This is your chance to become cool, cat. That sounds fun. I'm feeling enjoying being a farm cat. The farmer says I'm getting too old. I'd love to visit Birmingham.
Come along with us then, but first you have to think of a cool rapper name.
From now on, you can call me Kitty-O.
The three animals walked down the road. The cat had a new walk now too. Instead of being a scurrying furball, Kitty-O started to slink like a tiger. Pretty soon the animals ran into a rooster.
How's it growing, my fine feathered friend?
Yo, Rooster, can I get a cockle-doodle-doo?
What's up? What's wrong with you? Just reacting really, really weird. We're going to Birmingham. We're going to become rappers.
This is your chance to strut your stuff. Heyo.
That sounds fun. The farmer says I'm getting too old to wake him up with my crow. He jumped on a new alarm. I'll show him!
Come along with us then, but first you have to give yourself a cool rapper name.
From now on, you can call me the Rooster. The four animals continued down the road. Now the rooster also had a new walk. Instead of lurching awkwardly around the farmyard, the rooster walked with a proud strut like a peacock. But it was a long way to Birmingham. Soon night was falling. The animals were growing tired and hungry. There was a house in the distance with lights on. The animals walked up to the house. There were robbers sorting through their loot. Spread out on the table was all kinds of delicious food.
Yo, check out those food ones.
Let me at him.
You're going to regret the days you left Rooster.
I'm hungry.
Hush, I got a plan.
Donkey MC's plan was to make up a rap song. The animals practiced in a whisper so that the robbers couldn't hear them.
Okay, home animals, let's rap on three and real loud. 1, 2, 3. Yo,
Yo, we come from the farm. It's cause you're alarm. We're animals for real. We're here to tell you. You're a robber who collected your somebody in our boat. You better come home to your mama and put on your pajamas.
The robbers were startled by four farm animals rapping very loudly. They ran out of the house in a fright. After they were gone, the animals went inside and feasted on the food and slept in the beds. The next day, they walked into Birmingham. When they arrived, they were surprised that they learned that they were heroes. People had heard about how they scared away the robbers. The four animals were immediately given a record contract. They made a video that played on MTV and also various nature channels. They went on tour with a group of robots who have formed a heavy metal band. The Birmingham rappers went on to have 5 #1 songs. Here's one of their biggest hits.
Let the donkey out.
Bray.
Who let the hound dog out? Bark, bark, bark. Who let the cow out? Purr, purr, purr. Who let the rooster out?
Crow.
Bravo!